Hello again. This is the Daily Darkly for October the 7th. I don't have a lot for you today, but what I do have is a doozy. For on this day, October the 7th, 1849, one of America's most influential writers died under chilling and still mysterious circumstances. Edgar Allan Poe, author of The Raven, The Telltale Heart, and The Fall of the House of Usher, amongst so many others, helped to invent the modern detective story. He defined Gothic horror and explored the darkest corners of mankind. As I reported just days earlier, on October the 3rd, Poe was found incoherent and delirious outside a tavern in Baltimore, Maryland. He was wearing someone else's clothes, and he couldn't explain how he had gotten there. He was taken to Washington College Hospital, where he remained in a deeply disturbed state for days. Some reports say he was hallucinating, and others say he called out names that no one recognized, the key name being Reynolds. To this day, no one can point to anyone by the name of Reynolds in Poe's life. Edgar Allan Poe died on the morning of October the 7th, and according to legend, his final words were, "Lord, help my poor soul." There was no autopsy, and to this day, there are no confirmed causes of death. However, there are many theories. Some blame alcohol, others blame drugs. Still others point to cooping, the 19th century election scam where victims were kidnapped, drugged, and forced to vote repeatedly. In fact, Poe was found on Election Day outside of a polling station wearing someone else's clothes, which fits the pattern of cooping perfectly. But there are other theories too. Rabies, a brain tumor, diabetes, even foul play. But I have my own theory, and that's that Poe died of a combination of things, including lead and arsenic poisoning, both of which were prevalent in the paint and the water and the tableware of the day. Now, adding to my theory is the fact that a few years ago, a lock of Eliza Poe's hair was donated to science to analyze her DNA. Of course, Eliza Poe was Edgar Allan Poe's deceased wife. She was also his cousin, and they did live together for some years. Sure enough, in Eliza's system, they did find arsenic and lead. Unfortunately, we may never have the opportunity to analyze Poe's DNA because, as I reported the other day, a few years after his passing, fans and friends alike moved his body to a more prominent spot in a Baltimore cemetery. But it's impossible to remove the giant grave marker that sits on top of his grave without destroying it, and no one's going to do that. So we may never get an answer. Regardless of how Poe died, his once athletic body just couldn't take it anymore. The mystery remains. His poor soul indeed. All right, my friends, that's all I have for you today. I'll be back again tomorrow with another Daily Darkly. Until then, have yourselves a dreary little day.